thinking about YouTube in a marketing sense. And, the first thing isn't make an interesting video. The first thing is you got to get people to click on the video. And so you got to have to sell the video and why they should click on it. So flipping the two around and thinking about how are we going to visually frame this? What's the thumbnail going to be? What's the title going to be? How can we kind of package that together to make it something that people want to click on? And then use that to guide how we edit and structure the video. So VP Land is a newsletter I started a few years ago, and it's expanded into a YouTube channel and podcast called Denoise Podcast that I co-host with Adi Ghani. And it started, VP was for virtual production. That was up and coming, and there wasn't really anyone specifically covering virtual production, but it's expanded to, I like to say, just all sorts of creative technology. So AI, augmented reality, just all the new tools and interesting things that are happening in our space. What's happening, what's new with them, and how people can use them.
I've had a chance to watch a few of your podcasts, not as many as I should, I grant you, but have watched a few. How do you decide what to turn into a program?
Like a full video or for the podcast?
Ideas, I have a sneaking feeling, are swirling in your head. Mm-hmm. How do you decide which one to turn into a show?
A lot of times it's just what's new and trending online, especially in the AI space. There's so many updates every week and new tools. And I think there's a big disconnect, too, between the discourse that you see online. I mean, I'm on X, Twitter a lot, just kind of that's where a lot of the AI updates happen and a lot of the AI-centric creators are. But there's a disconnect between when a new update happens and there's, the posts of like, RIP Hollywood and, this is going to, replace everyone from people who do not work in this industry at all. There's a disconnect between that and in our industry and on a more professional level of what AI tools are actually useful and where they're still lacking. So I think a lot of the times we see new and interesting things and then want to kind of have a conversation around how can this actually fit and be useful in a more professional pipeline.
One of the things clearly that's everywhere at the show is AI. Not only generative AI, but agentic AI and AI in your soup and AI in the morning. It's just like AI everywhere. And there is a tremendous amount of fear wrapped around this. Mm-hmm. I think some of it with justification, like voice actors having their voice duplicated without their knowledge, or generative AI putting the head of a celebrity on a body of somebody else. Yep. So I think there's legitimate fear. But I also think there's a lot of hype. Where are we right now in your perspective of where AI is in terms of being able to either enable filmmakers or replace filmmakers?
Mm-hmm. First off, I think AI is such a broad term, and I think we need better language around it. Because as you said, with AI and pointed out, there's so generative, agentic, utility AI. Sometimes there are other words for just machine learning or different ways of calling things that we've been doing. So I think we need more language, and I think also it depends how you use it. So I like to believe that it can be a more useful and productive tool. I'm trying to lean into it and make sense of how it works and kind of explain to others how you can use it, because I don't think we're going to get to the point where it can replace us or replace all of us. I think it'll enable smaller teams to do more than maybe what would have taken 10 people to do before maybe one person could do. So I think from the replacement part, we got to get back in there and just learn how to use this stuff, because it's not that AI is going to replace you. It's someone who knows how to harness the power of these AI tools will likely replace you.
But just being difficult,
yeah.
What 10 people used to do, one person can now do. So that one person's now a lot more efficient, but 9 people are out of work.
I know. There is going to be probably a crappy transition. And we've been seeing that now with the VFX houses that are collapsing. And I think part of that, too, is just a lot of the big budget pictures that did support them, where you needed thousands of VFX artists to work on a film. Those films are just happening less and less now. I know there's no sugarcoat way around it. It will be a crappy transition, but I think that's why I'm leaning in. It's like, I'd rather learn this stuff now and lean into it, and I hope others do the same too, because it's scary to have to learn new things. And I know there's a big comfort in having the technical complexity as a moat to protect your work and your job. And so I remember from the, when digital video got more easy, and it's like, oh, well, now anyone could just buy a DSLR camera and it can look just as good as if you had to learn how to shoot film. And so it just became easier and easier. And so it's a little bit fearful because you had that comfort of having that very technical knowledge that not a lot of people had, and now it's easier to do. So you just have to lean into it more and to prevent being replaced by the person who does know how to use AI.
We're in an unsettled time to begin with, and it only got more unsettled last week. So that is not, and we're in a recession in LA. Traditional media is collapsing. Social media, for most people, is not enough to make a living. For many, some, but not all. And we're trying to figure out what's coming next, which is scary enough. And then AI, which could be interpreted as my job is going away, to this is going to make me more successful, to worldwide competition. I think the level of fear is higher than normal. And so the challenge I think that we have, and you as well, is to demystify the fear audience.
Yeah, trying to be optimistic. Aside from the AI, there are a variety of other bigger issues that I would understand the fear. And I think the fear is more valid for those issues than necessarily AI. But I think, to your point, that is the stuff that got us here now is not necessarily going to be the stuff for the next stage. And it's a transition period, and change is always scary. And I think it's a matter of, you have to try to get ahead now and lean into how can you rethink your workflows? Not even going all in on AI, but just questioning how can we change our workflow, make things a little bit better. Cloud workflows, big example. Distributed teams, another big example. Those aren't AI questions. Those are just new tools that are available to us with everything that's been happening here that teams and companies can rethink their workflow and just work better and smarter.
Okay, let's change hats.
Yeah.
You have a very popular YouTube channel.
Thank you.
No, you do. You should be very proud of it. How do you choose, or how do you balance between living your life and living your life online? Because a lot of the YouTube people that I've talked to, in order to succeed in YouTube, your life is online 24 hours a day, which for some people is good because they're narcissistic, not that you are. But for others, how do you find that balance?
I wouldn't say I'm on my life. Like, I'm not vlogging and I'm not live streaming.
Not sharing your dinner with everyone?
Not sharing my food, not taking food pictures. A lot of the time, the stuff that I'm putting online is more my professional curiosity in new technology or projects that I've worked on or workflows that I've had where I found something interesting or I've struggled with it, and it's like, let me share this because this was a very specific problem that I had and I couldn't find any resources on it, and let me put this back out there so people who have very niche specific problems but that were similar to mine can go back out there. And I think that focus resonates with an audience and some people, and that's it's been great, and that's been seeing the channel growing. But yeah, I'm not streaming my walk-arounds with my dog.
You've achieved something that a lot of people have tried to achieve, and many have, but most have not, which is success on the channel. For people that are starting their channel and wanting to build their audience and develop their identity and be able to make a living at it, as opposed to simply say they're online, what do they need to keep in mind? What did you do that worked, and what should they think about doing?
I mean, there have been a lot of failed channel attempts in the past, and figuring out what works. I think something that was a big shift for me and something that's contributed to some of the success more recently is I would always do this issue where I would think there's something that was interesting and then kind of make the video about it and then figure out what the title and thumbnail are going to be after the fact.
I plead guilty to that. That's
yes,
me.
You make the stuff and then it's like, okay, well, it's done, the video's ready to go, and whatever, pick the frame. Flipping that, because thinking about YouTube in a marketing sense, and the first thing isn't make an interesting video. The first thing is you got to get people to click on the video, and so you got to have to sell the video and why they should click on it. So flipping the two around and thinking about how are we going to visually frame this? What's the thumbnail going to be? What's the title going to be? How can we kind of package that together to make it something that people want to click on? And then use that to guide how we edit and structure the video. So not necessarily video around what we think will do well. I still want to make the video that I want to make about the subject I want to make, but spending a lot more time ahead of time before we edit the video of how we're going to package it and frame it.
So you're really looking at the packaging first, and then filling in the content second.
Packaging, and then that leads to how we sort of structure the introduction, because again, that's the next more important part where people click, they watch the video, so we've got to hook them in the first 30 seconds. And then we get into the content of the video, and that, I would say, is more of my traditional, building out the videos.
In order for that to work, to have a really great clickable title and a wonderful poster frame and then the content to back it up, people have to know you exist. How do you get the word out for people that haven't stumbled across VP Land?
Consistency. I mean, it's been going for 2 years, 3 years now, and we've been covering NAB. Well, I mean, I've been here, I don't know, 10 years or so. I would cover for Filmmaker Magazine for their blog a long time ago, but doing the videos for the past 3 years or so. And every year, it's a little bit smaller, and then it kind of gets bigger and bigger. And I think it's just from having we're consistently putting out two newsletters a week, video clips online. We're chopping things up with Opus clips and putting out short clips. We're making the videos and trying to put out videos at least every week or every other week. So it's just that very slow snowball where now, you're like, oh, it's, great channel. And people like a few times here, people have been like, oh yeah, I like your channel. And it's like, that never happened before. And I think it's just from the consistent, the overnight success, but it's been 2-3 years of putting this stuff out, and then 7-8 years before that. But it's the time. It's the time and the consistency.
Also, it sounds like not give up. Don't expect instant success.
And find something that you enjoy and that you would be enjoy doing, and putting out stuff for months or years. I love technology and cameras and the overlap of filmmaking. So this stuff is always exciting for me. So I'm not tired of I got to go do another NAB or go talk to another camera manufacturer. It's very exciting and interesting to talk to everyone here about this. And so I love doing it. Get a decent mic. I would say a decent mic is way better than investing in the camera first.
Do you have an editing style? Do you have a way of presenting yourself visually?
I'd say for the YouTube, hard cuts, playing in with the sound effects, asides the camera. Trying to have fun with the format. Really? I see the formats that work, and I'm trying to
really obvious stuff.
Play with it. Obviously, yeah.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years is so long.
Easy. 2 years. I'll make it simple.
VP Land has been taking off, but I also do video production. I have a video production company, where we make ads and documentaries and other projects. I would want VP Land to be the main thing, and to be, a big enough media brand, more people know it here, and it is the full self-sustaining business for everything I do, and I can support a lot of people.
Joey, I wish you success. Thank you very much.
It's great. Appreciate it.